All right, once again, it is time for my client Demi's vlog, and we started the week off with a bench press, and I believe he got a small PR there. Again, bench is his weakest lift. We've been slowly working it up, and as we know, he just has to get thicker. Right, he's very tall. He has a lot of room to fill his frame out to go into a higher weight class. I'd like to see him go up a weight class over the next, 9 months or so. Uh, Again, I feel like he can do it relatively lean, given the fact that he's over 6 foot tall, right? And his height, ideally long term, I'd like to see him as high as the 125 kg, but he needs to definitely be in the 110 and up to the 125. Over the next couple of years, right? That's what I would like to see. But he's got to fill out his frame. A lot of hypertrophy work is going to be involved. We didn't get his max effort lower session this week. He didn't have time to film it due to some stuff going on in his life. But the upside, his whole program will be changing for lower body a little. He has a reverse hyper. He has a belt squat. They've arrived. He showed me the boxes. He's going to have them put together this week. So hopefully in the next vlog, he's going to have access to those. He's going to be utilizing those tools. And I think they're going to be very, very helpful for him. Particularly, I think that belt squat is going to be useful for him because he has a abductor weakness. He pulls adductors really easy. We've had a problem with it, limiting his squat, limiting anything with a wider stance. It's a great tool for allowing us to do that. Reverse hypers, everyone knows how I feel about them. So his supplemental work on max effort upper days, though, pretty straightforward. We do pause benching, we do rows, and then we do a lot of triceps. Right? We do a lot of triceps. We do skull crushers, right? I've got him doing skull crushers. I've got him doing band press downs. Again, the band press downs are to get his tendons healthy. And once the tendons are healthy, we can rotate this stuff around a little bit, but I want to make sure that they are healthy enough to handle the skull crushers. Because again, his whole upper body needs to get a lot thicker, but triceps, we can look at his triceps here and look at him when he's standing. They're limiting his upper body. We can see it in the movement pattern. We can see it visibly. So everything needs to come up with a little more focus on triceps. Speed bench, of course, we do speed benching. Then we do volume on the floor press. And then after that, it looks like our max effort day, right? We do rows. We do triceps. Okay. Eventually, I'll have him work other stuff in, incline dumbbells back and forth. But right now, I really want to work that floor press. In part because of where he misses on the bench. Floor press is a good tricep exercise. Right? Pretty good tricep exercise. It's fairly easy on recovery. Very easy on our shoulders. Some of the other movements are a little harder on shoulders. Incline benching can be, for example. So we rotate some of this stuff in phases. And I think it's important to do some of that with our drug-free guys like this. They don't have anything to facilitate, healing joints and tendons, right? Not an option for them. So we have to train smart with overuse, right? We have to train smart with overuse. A little bit different of a ball game with some of that. Rows, and I have him doing rows all 4 days. Most people realize that at this point. I've kind of said that. I want to just get his upper body thicker. It's how we get in the volume that we need, the quality volume. Will I eventually rotate it over to where we only do it maybe on his upper body days? Yes. We may do that coming up. But in the meantime, I feel like he needs the extra row work, and if I throw too much at him in just the upper day, it's a work capacity issue. So I routinely like to do this when I start taking lifters above 10 sets of rowing per week. A lot of times I like to spread them out. We build that work capacity, and then I'll eventually, once everything is good, their upper back is thick, we have that nice big shelf up there, I'll rotate stuff over to where we condense it into 2 days, depending on what we're doing with the lifter. Again, depends on what I'm doing with the lifter. I've used a lot of different approaches here, but a lot of my more novice-y guys, you have a good base, but they're not really advanced by my levels. I do like to throw a fair amount of rowing volume in at them for a while if they need it, unless their back is just really, really big. Again, just to get them thicker. build the fundamentals, because that row will carry over to the bench, it'll carry over to the deadlift, it'll give them a bigger shelf to squat. Okay? And a lot of these guys have really strong low backs, glutes in his case, so the rows are going to help there. Because he can good morning 3 plates for sets of 10. Hey, he's strong on good mornings. So what's that tell us? He's got a solid posterior chain right now. That whole upper body is limiting him on his deadlifts to some extent. Lower body a bit limited by adductors. Benching everything, but triceps particularly so. So that's what we do. Dynamic effort lowers where we finish the week. He does speed boxes with the safety bar. We do conventional speed pulls. He's much stronger conventional. And I have him do a little sumo here and there. Not super wild about sumo for this lifter. He does struggle with it. Maybe the belt squats will help with that. But he's one of these lifters that we may not do much sumo, right? Just because of his height. And he's much stronger conventional. We already have some adductor overuse issues. So, we have to watch that. We have to be careful of it. Look at that road clamp. I have that same set of orange road clamps, by the way, that he's got there. I see them closed up right there. Again, the good mornings, 140 kg for sets of 10. Like, we're good there. But we've got to get that upper body caught up. Because this is a good base. I mean, I like seeing this. When I get a lifter like this, even though the upper body is lagging, which is usually the opposite. Most guys are upper body bros. They can come in and good morning like this fairly early on when I've only had them, a few months. Pretty happy with that. This is a much better situation to have than someone who has a weak low back and weak posterior chain. Hey, I would much rather have this because I can fix upper body. I can bulk their upper body, right? Not a problem. Then, of course, he finishes up with some split squats. In this case, he's doing them the Anderson style. And again, that's where we finish up the week. So equipment's going to change this coming week, so it's going to be a little bit different. So wait for that. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.